It was breaking this time yesterday, but now firefighters say they're making good progress when it comes to knocking down that Boulder County fire that forced more than 450 people to leave their homes. That is the Sunshine Wildland fire. It's burned 19 acres so far, but now they're describing it as 40% contained.
9 News reporter Courtney Yuen is there for us now. And Courtney, the fire crews are giving a lot of credit to homeowners for their preparation, really helping limit the fire spread.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. Firefighters are telling us today that people who mitigated their homes really helped protect their neighborhoods from this wildfire. So far, one home has been completely destroyed and another one was damaged. Yesterday, this area of Boulder was filled with smoke, and you wouldn't know that there was a wildfire still burning today just by the looks of it, but there are dozens of firefighters still fighting this fire.
Seeing that smoke above Boulder, coming over the hillside, everybody's heart just dropped.
Wildfires in winter have become a common sight in Boulder County, reminding people of just how much was lost last year.
I hate to say it, but this is kind of our primary fire season right now. And it's not ideal.
Fire Management Officer for the Boulder County Sheriff's Office, Seth McKinney,
all the crews did an excellent job.
Is running on 3 hours of sleep.
We're done with fires in December, but here we are.
But wildfires aren't done with them.
Man, yeah. Do we ever get a break?
The Sunshine Canyon wildfire started out as a house fire in the 2900 block of Sunshine Canyon Drive. That home was a total loss. So far, no word on what caused it.
With the high winds, one of the big challenges that we were facing was that it was the wind was pushing spot fires out in front of it.
McKinney says the fire grew slightly overnight.
We've got the main fire, and then we've got a handful of smaller spot fires ranging from 10 by 10 feet up to 2 acres.
The fire damaged one other home on Bristlecone Way. He says homeowners who mitigated their property helped protect their homes from fire.
That's usually the key factor there in being able to save a home.
McKinney's hopeful winds will stay calm tonight, so work on the fire keeps progressing.
An outstanding effort by all the first responders to come in, work together, and make sure that we didn't have an outcome from like the Marshall Fire.
And McKinney says that he's hopeful that they'll be able to lift some of the evacuation orders tonight. That's, of course, contingent upon the weather cooperating, the wind staying down, and making sure that firefighters can keep control of this fire.
Yeah, certainly a lot to talk about there as far as the weather, and we're going to be talking about that in just a second. Thanks, Courtney.
We know it is going to be cold this week, so cold. Some schools in Adams County will not have class on Thursday and Friday this week. The 27J district made that call, meaning students and staff now get an early start to their vacation. They will be off until January 10th. We are expecting wind chills colder than 40 below zero in some areas Thursday. One of our meteorologists, Chris Bianchi, realized our weather graphics don't even have a color scale for a wind chill that low. Look at the top right part of your screen here. That graphic. The map says, you know what, I give up. Too cold, I just go blank.
We're all out of purples.
Firefighters expect to get a lot of 911 calls related to pipes bursting. Once the weather starts to warm up a little bit after a big freeze, that is when homeowners run into problems. 9 News reporter Kelly Rinke learned some tricks to prevent a water emergency.
All is calm before the storm, even in this South Metro fire station.
But it's when the temperatures start to warm up enough that the pipes are thawing and then people discover the water leaks then.
Things could get rough right before Christmas. That's when firefighters will get busy.
In my personal experience, I'm guessing Saturday will be a busy day for the fire departments responding on water calls.
Eric Hurst with South Metro Fire is expecting 911 calls for pipes bursting in homes after the freeze coming this week.
They're seeing it flooding, maybe they're not sure where it's coming from, and they don't know where the water shutoff valve is.
One street became chaotic when Hurst says a family flooded the whole basement floor.
And when the firefighters got to the stairway in the kitchen and looked down to the basement, the water was already up almost to the first floor.
To prevent a big mess like that, firefighters recommend keeping cabinet doors open near sinks, setting your thermostat above 65 degrees, and cracking a faucet so it can drip water.
From a preventative side of things, our message is always just know where your water shutoff valve is ahead of time.
If it's too late, firefighters are ready for the trouble after the storm.
Sadly, emergencies don't take days off, so our firefighters can't take days off either.
Now, Denver Water has a few more suggestions on how to prepare, including thawing your pipe as soon as you think it's frozen. You can call a plumber or just do it yourself. Denver Water says to shut off the water and maybe point a hairdryer to that frozen area is appropriate. They say a blowtorch is not appropriate.
That doesn't ever seem like a good idea, but okay.
No, that kind of gave me a giggle when I saw it on.
But we will have a lot of people traveling, so it's smart to be thinking about this right before they take off for the holidays.
Yes, absolutely. A lot of people are going to be doing that. So some things to do before you leave the house.
Okay, Kelly, thank you.
You may have been wondering if you looked outside today, where is the cold? It was pretty mild today. It's going to be mild for a little while, but we are in for a sudden change that is coming our way. Kathy, everyone is turning to you now to find out when this is coming and just how bad it's going to be.
It's going to be record, dangerous, possibly historic cold coming in with this polar vortex that's allowing this Arctic air to spill down along the Front Range about 24 hours from now. And that's right, the winter solstice here coming up as well. So we're going to go from fall to winter, and it's going to be with a blast of cold and snow timed with the arrival of the new season. Now, the good news is it's a fast-moving system, but the cold air will stick around. Coming in on Wednesday night, we'll see that wind chill warning that has now been issued for Denver be extended out through Friday morning. Temperatures as we move through the afternoon are in the mid-40s, very comfortable, but you go up north and that's where the bitter cold air is just starting to move into Bismarck, Rapid City and Billings. It'll be here with the arrival of this front tomorrow afternoon around 2:30, 3 o'clock. You'll know it's here because the wind will be shifting and increasing and become quite gusty at times. Current readings were 39 in Denver, 40 in Colorado Springs, 27 in Sterling. For a couple of days, we may not get above 0 across much of eastern Colorado. So here's kind of where we expect things to be about this time tomorrow afternoon between 2 and 4 o'clock. Temperatures will be close to 50. By Wednesday night at 8:30, we're seeing that cold air come in. We'll be down to 1 above 0, -5 in Greeley, 10 below in Greeley by the time you move through 3 a.m. and 4 a.m. on Thursday morning. Temperatures are expected to go to 14 below 0 overnight tomorrow night, and we won't get above 0 on Thursday when the bulk of that cold air arrives. So this entire Front Range scenario in Eastern Plains now under a wind chill warning. Wind chills could go to 50 below 0. That means frostbite on exposed skin is a possibility in 5 to 10 minutes time. We're calling it dangerous cold. Livestock managers need to be mindful. Animals outside need adequate shelter and water and protection from the wind and the cold, because this could potentially be a life-threatening situation across much of eastern Colorado, where we also have a winter weather advisory for accumulating snow. And if you're headed to the high country, winter storm warnings for over a foot of snow. Calm and quiet tonight. You've got time to get ready. Half the day tomorrow, you're going to be just fine. Things all start to change about this time tomorrow afternoon. We'll break down the timing and the forecast coming up in just a bit.
Well, everyone's paying attention. Those numbers are really something that have everyone wondering about what these next 48 hours are going to be like.
Mm-hmm. Looks like a bad gift from Canada moving south. Thank you.
I know, right? Just in time for the holiday.
I know. Thanks, Kathy. Court record. Court records show the suspected Club Q shooter wants an El Paso County judge to hold the sheriff in contempt of court. A filing late last week by Anderson Aldrich's legal team says the office of El Paso County Sheriff Bill Elder leaked information about the suspect's 2021 case. That incident back in 2021 led to kidnapping charges against the alleged shooter, but when prosecutors dropped those charges, the case was sealed. Fast forward to now, after the Club Q shooting, the El Paso County Sheriff's Office has requested those records be unsealed so they could share what happened. And this month, the judge agreed and unsealed the case. Here's 9 News legal expert Scott Robinson.
The Public Defender's Office feels that the grounds for unsealing the 2021 case were actually stimulated by a violation of the sealing statute. That public media attention wouldn't be nearly as great had there not been some sort of leak to the media. What this filing doesn't do is take into account the enormous public interest in the 2021 case, regardless of any leaks by anybody of any information.
Robinson also said this filing could be the first step toward requesting a change of venue for the trial. The motion says they believe the shooter would not get a fair trial in El Paso County because of all the media attention and the alleged leaks.
A Larimer County Sheriff's deputy will not face charges after shooting and killing a suspect following a high-speed chase from back in October. This is according to a letter from the district attorney's office. It was back on October 21st that deputies in Johnstown tried to stop a driver they say was speeding. The driver failed to stop. That prompted deputies to use what they called a pit maneuver at a roundabout on Highway 402. The DA says the driver then got out of the car with a knife and walked towards the deputy. The driver would not respond to the deputy's commands. That's when they say the deputy shot the driver, who died from his injuries the next day. That winter freeze coming our way is going to upend travel plans for thousands of Americans.
Airlines are now stepping up to make life a little easier for rebooking your holiday flights. And we all rely on customer reviews when shopping online, but how much can you trust those Amazon reviews?